here all day. Had a bit of a busy, lovely day. Grateful for the beauty of the season. And I've been wanting to record outside for y'all. Um, and I wanted to do it while there was more sunshine. But the good thing is that this will be quick because, you know, this is a mosquito hour. I have a lot of citronella on. Hopefully that'll take care of it. But yeah, Bill Gates has been on my mind. There's a lot of things I want to talk about always, but in particular, right now, two big things are, as I've been talking about why I left Cambridge and sort of like the re education of the Negro. Um, I'm thinking about that and I'm thinking about curses too. And like the good news about curses being that they can be reversed, right? So just talking about like moving through spiritual blockages and like the individual spiritual blockage as the microcosmic example of the collective blockage, right? If we think about individuals who may feel like things keep going wrong no matter what they do, I can identify with that at times. If we think about that and then we think about the black race, the global south, the global majority having a similar experience, then we can recognize that, yeah, this is something that is critical to address directly, right? If we act like it's not there, if we act like it's not real, then we can't really fix it. But the more we recognize it as a reality, the easier it is to address it. I'm just gonna grab my so yeah, I mean, even if I were to connect that to Bill Gates and the way that he treats black people and how he has treated African people in my lifetime, um, and why like receiving his money created a tension between who I was and what I could say and do, right? I've been known about this before. I went to there's a part of you that recognizes the opportunity. There's a part of you that recognizes the opportunity to take their resources, take their brands, take their leverage, and use it. And a big part of why I wanted to use their Ivy League brands is because our communities are so invested in the Ivy League brand, right? Like these people have established themselves as the standard in education, as a standard in knowledge, as the standard in intelligence. And so most of us, when we see Harvard, Yale, Cambridge, etc., we think intelligence, genius, perfection. Who could be better than them? Who could know better than them? But most of you know better than them, right? And so to think of the conundrum, the curse of black people, the so-called curse of Ham, and how we have been genocided for 500 years plus, and how that manifests through support from the church, support from institutions like Cambridge and Oxford and Yale and Harvard, support from militaries and governments, right? The curse that black people have been under all this time is really just a systematic genocide. I mean, it's genocide. We know it's genocide, right? I mean, come on. In 2026, is that a controversial statement? Is that a surprise to anybody who reads anything? Um, so if we recognize that, and then we recognize that these institutions that are giving us an education are actually upholding the violence and the genocide, then does it make sense for us logically to prioritize their messaging and their credentials and their validation over our own selfhood and our own value and our well-being? Does it make sense for me to prioritize like holding on to a Bill Gates scholarship or Gates Cambridge scholarship over like educating my people on what the F is going on? I wish I had the balls while I was at Cambridge to be much more vocal and be like, yeah, this is a pandemic that was orchestrated in large part by this man. So it shouldn't be illegal to say that, and it shouldn't be a matter of like something's gonna happen to you. Don't talk about it. You got somebody got a gun to your head. You got to be quiet. That is one of the most violent tools in empire to keep us quiet, to keep us afraid of naming our oppressors, of naming our those who are harming us. Shout out to those who are in the chat I'm trying to see if I recognize it. Y'all know it's dark out here, and I got to put the light back higher on the phone. Um, Zavala family, Valmore, Rosado. What's up? What's up? I appreciate the greetings. Tristan, what's up? Yeah, so he was a part, that was a part of me leaving, in terms of like my discomfort and the tension and the sort of frustration I was having with what I couldn't say and the lack of intellectual community. Because, come on, again, Amos Wilson, right? If we're talking about the peak of human intelligence and human ability, and we're talking about people who are perfectly okay with being genocided, or when data is shown to them about how certain people and certain institutions go into Africa and sterilize people under the guise of healthcare. If that is so hard for you to fathom because you don't have an understanding of genocide throughout history and biological warfare throughout history, then how are we intellectual equals? What am I sitting next to you? What am I doing next to you? You will walk into the slaughter. I'm not interested in walking into the slaughter. I am actually here. I'm responsible for keeping you from walking into the slaughter, but you're not going to listen to me unless I have a Cambridge degree. That's just what it is sometimes. You know what I mean? So these are the things that are on my mind. So I've been book shopping. I've been at the library a lot lately. I've been posting about this on my spill, and yeah, I think I put something in my WhatsApp stories. And it's bringing me so much joy. So just shout out to Prof. Anderson, Reynaldo Anderson, the father of Afrofuturism 2.0, the founder of the Black Speculative Arts Movement, who, we call him the father of Afrofuturism right now, because he's really got me excited about reading again. We are reading The Glass Bead Game, Herman Hesse. Herman Hesse? What is the rest of this man's name? And there's another book about the I need to like learn the Japanese names. Another book about samurai warfare that we're reading. If you are a book collector, if you are a bibliophile like I am, and you want to be part of some of these reading groups, let me know, because there's some major knowledge like evolution that's happening through these reading groups. I'm coming here so you can actually see me a little bit better. Um, so yeah, that's basically the bottom line, right? If you want to align your mind with the truth, the message of the moment, right? The message of Afrofuturism, quantum Afro-nowism. You have an opportunity to join a community that's doing that right now. So drop a comment, whatever. Let me know if that's something that you're interested in. Again, identity coaching, educational consulting. I'm gonna add my descriptions in these videos soon, but meanwhile, if you have questions about this, you can always email us at team@noirlabs.org. I do coaching one-on-one, and then I do groups, organizations, institutions. So message me if you're interested. And yeah, I would love to know what y'all think about Bill Gates. Are you still one of those people who's like, oh my God, he's such a hero, he's a billionaire, or are you awake? All right, I love y'all. We'll talk soon. Peace.